Somebody help!
The sound of music filled my ears and made me jump from sleep that morning. Boom, boom, boom. My bed even shook from the noise. That's how I always know Mommy is awake. Her name is Agatha, my mother. The door swings open, and there she is, shining like the morning sun. She smells like flowers and gold. Her shoes click on the floor as she walks to her big mirror. I sit up, hugging my pillow. Her room looks like a party. Lights everywhere, dresses on the floor, boxes open. She sings softly while coloring her lips red. Then she tilts her head, looks at herself, and smiles. "Christy, do I look pretty?" she asks. I nod. "You always look pretty, Mom." She laughs, touching my cheek. "Good girl." Then she grabs her phone and poses. Flash, flash, flash. 1 selfie, 2, 3. She adds her captions. Soft life or nothing. When her phone beeps, she giggles. "See, baby, they love me." She shows me the likes and comments glowing on her screen. I smile too, even though I don't understand why social media makes her so happy. Sometimes I think my mom lives inside her phone. When she scrolls online, she forgets I'm there. When she laughs, it's not at my jokes, but at something funny her friends sent her. By the time she's done, the sky is dark outside. The smell of her perfume fills the whole room. She checks her reflection one last time and blows me a kiss. "Baby, lock the door, okay? Don't stay up late." Then she walks away, singing to herself. I move to the window and watch her car lights fade down the street. The house turns quiet again. Only the clock ticks and the sound of the freezer. The light from my homework book feels too bright in the lonely room. Sometimes I hear our neighbor, Mama Esther, whisper through her window. What kind of mother leaves her daughter alone every night? God forbid bad thing," she says. But I just pretend not to hear. When the clock hits midnight, I whisper, "Good night, Mom," even though she's not home to hear it. I close my eyes, trying to sleep. I wonder if she thinks about me. Maybe one day she will. Maybe one day she'll come home early, sit beside me, and tell me I make her proud. But every morning, I wake up to the sound of the door opening softly, her quiet laughter, and the smell of perfume that says, "She's back." That evening, the house was quiet again. The sun had gone down, and I could hear crickets singing outside my window. Mom was standing in front of her mirror, brushing her hair. Her phone light kept flashing, new messages from her friends. She was wearing a gold dress this time, the kind that sparkles when she moves. I sat on the edge of the bed, watching her. My chest felt tight, like I wanted to say something, but didn't know how. I finally spoke. "Mom," I said softly, "when last did you eat with me?" She stopped brushing her hair and turned to look at me through the mirror. "Baby, what do you mean?" she asked, smiling a little. I looked down at my hands. "I don't know. I just miss when we used to cook, sit together, and eat. You don't even ask about studies anymore." She sighed, placing her brush on the table. "Christy, please don't start tonight. You know Mommy is busy." I stepped closer and looked her straight in the eyes. "But you're always busy going to parties. What about me? You don't care about me anymore." Her smile slowly faded. She turned fully to me and crossed her arms. "So, you're now telling me what to do, right?" she asked, raising an eyebrow. "Miss Detective, you are just like your father." Her words cut deeper than she knew. I didn't remember my father. She never talked about him, but hearing his name made my heart feel heavy.
I'm not trying to fight you, Mom, I whispered slowly. I just want you to be here and spend time with me sometimes. She picked up her small purse and checked herself again in the mirror. Christy, I work hard. I deserve to have fun. Don't make me feel bad for living my life. I wanted to tell her I wasn't trying to make her feel bad. I just wanted her to notice me. But she was already walking toward the door. Make sure you lock the doors before you sleep, she said, her voice softer now. And then she was gone. I sat there for a long time, staring at the mirror she left behind. Her perfume still floated in the air, sweet but lonely. A small tear rolled down my cheek. Sometimes I felt like I was the adult here and she was the child. I cleaned up her messes, reminded her to eat, and waited up for her every night. So I said to myself, maybe if I try harder, she'll love me the way I love her. Then I turned off the light and waited for her laughter to return with the morning.
One hot afternoon, while Mama was out at another party, I was cleaning her room. She doesn't like me touching her things, but the dust was too much. So I took her hairbrush, her perfume bottles, and her jewelry box off the table. Then I saw it. A small brown box hiding under the bed. At first, I thought it was empty. But when I opened it, my heart jumped. Inside was an old photo. Mama and a man smiling under a mango tree. The man looked so kind. His arm around her shoulder. I stared at the picture for a long time. My hands began to shake. Is this my dad? I whispered. I haven't seen him before. Mama never talked about him. Anytime I asked, she would say, he's gone. That's all you need to know. But now, holding that photo, I felt something strange. Like my heart was calling a name I didn't know yet. I turned the photo around and saw some words written in pen. Agatha and Daniel, together forever. Wait, Daniel? So my dad's name was Daniel? Now I know. That evening, while sweeping outside, I heard two women gossiping near the gate. My dear, you remember Agatha's husband? He left when Christy was still a baby, eh? One of the women said. Agatha likes party life too much. Poor man couldn't take it anymore. Their voices faded, but my heart didn't stop beating fast. Was that true? Did Mama's behavior chase Daddy away? Or was there more to the story? I ran inside and hid the photo in my school bag. I didn't want Mama to know I found it. That night, while lying in bed, I stared at the ceiling, thinking about the man in the picture. Did he ever think of me? Did he miss me the way I missed him, even though I never met him? The room was dark and quiet, but my thoughts were loud. I could almost hear his voice calling my name, soft and kind. Something in me whispered, Christy, you must find out the truth. And from that night, I knew my life was about to change.
The following Monday morning, I went to school, but my heart was heavy. I couldn't sleep the nights before because Mama came home very late again. I sat in class staring at the blackboard, but the teacher's words sounded far away. My chest felt tight, like something big was pressing on it. When break time came, Miss Ruth, our school counselor, called me gently. Christy, are you okay? You look sad, she said softly. At first, I wanted to say, I'm fine, but my eyes filled with tears before I could even speak. The words just came out. Miss Ruth, my mom doesn't stay home. She goes to parties every night. I'm always alone. She held my hand and said, you did the right thing by telling me. I'll help you, Christy. That afternoon, the school called Mama to come for a meeting. When she arrived, she looked so beautiful, wearing her red dress and shiny shoes. But her face changed when she saw me sitting beside Miss Ruth. Excuse me, why did you call me here? Mama asked, her voice sharp. Miss Ruth explained everything, how lonely I felt, how I missed having dinner together, how I wanted Mama to spend more time with me. Mama's eyes widened. Then she gave me a look I'll never forget. Oh, Christy, so you now report me to your teachers. You want to embarrass me. I tried to speak, but my voice broke. I just wanted us to be close again, Mama. She didn't reply. She stood up, grabbed her bag, and walked out. That night, she didn't say a word to me. The house felt colder than ever. The next morning, she finally spoke, but not with the softness I hoped for. Pack your things. You are going to boarding school. Maybe that's what you want. I jumped up and ran to her. Mama, please, I cried, my voice shaking. I don't want to go. I'll be quiet, I promise. I won't make you angry again. She sighed and turned her face away. It's for your own good, Christy. You'll learn discipline there. Her voice was firm, but I could hear the tiny crack in it. I held her hand, but she gently pulled it away. Mama, please, I'm sorry again, I whispered, tears falling down my cheeks. She took a deep breath, walked out of the room and said, "Be quick, the car is waiting." My hands shook as I folded my clothes. My heart felt like it was tearing into two pieces. Outside, the car was waiting. The driver opened the door. I stood there staring at Mama, hoping she would change her mind. The morning wind blew my dress softly, and I wanted her to just hug me, even once. When I stepped into the car, she still didn't look at me. She just said, "Be a good girl." The car started moving, and I pressed my face against the window. I could see her standing by the gate, her arms crossed again. But this time, I noticed something. As the car drove away, she lifted her hand quickly to her face. I saw her wipe her eyes. That small moment broke something inside me, because even though she pretended not to care, I knew she did. The road stretched long and quiet ahead of me. I wanted to believe I would come back soon. I wanted to believe she would miss me enough to call. But deep down, a little voice whispered, "What if she doesn't?" I hugged my small teddy bear tight, watching the rain start to fall again. The soft drops hit the car window, and all I could think about was home and Mama standing there, hiding her tears from the world. The first night in boarding school felt like a dream I didn't want to stay in. The room was big and full of girls, but I had never felt so alone. Everyone seemed to know someone, laughing, whispering, sharing snacks, while I sat quietly on my small bed, hugging my pillow. The air smelled of soap, wet clothes, and chalk. From far away, I could hear frogs croaking near the school fence. It made me miss home. Even Mama's loud perfume and the sound of her heels on the floor. When morning came, everything moved so fast. A tall teacher with a sharp voice shouted, "Lights out means sleep, lights on means work." The girls giggled as she walked past. I tried to smile, but my heart was still heavy. At breakfast, I joined a table where 3 girls were talking loudly. One of them, with shiny braids and a gold wristband, looked at me and said, "You're the new girl, right? The one whose mom drives a fancy car." I nodded slowly. She smiled, but it wasn't a kind smile. "So why are you here? Did your mom get tired of you already?" The other girls laughed. My chest burned and my eyes filled with tears, but I forced a small smile. "I just came to learn," I said softly. They whispered among themselves, still laughing. I looked down at my food, pushing it around the plate. Days turned into weeks. I tried to join games, but the girls avoided me. Some called me Miss Lonely. Others laughed when I prayed before eating.
Every night, I lay on my bed and listened to their giggles echoing across the dorm. I missed Mama. Even if she didn't talk much, at least I could see her face. Here, I was just a quiet shadow that no one wanted to approach. Sometimes, I would sneak out to the back of the school, sit under the old mango tree, and talk to myself softly. I would tell stories about how one day I would become someone strong, someone who didn't cry easily. But deep down, I was breaking. Because no matter how strong I tried to be, I still hoped Mama would call, just once. And each time I heard the school phone ring in the principal's office, I closed my eyes and wished, please let it be her.
It started on a bright Saturday morning. The sun was warm, and I was sitting alone under the mango tree again, reading my old storybook. Then I heard a soft, confident voice behind me saying, "Why do you always sit here alone? Don't you ever get bored?" I turned and saw her, Gabriela. She looked different from everyone else. Her hair was neatly braided with pink beads that sparkled in the sunlight. Her perfume smelled sweet like fresh flowers. She smiled at me in a way that made me feel noticed for the first time since I came here. "I'm Gabriela," she said, flipping her hair. "My friends call me Gabi." I smiled shyly. "I'm Christy." "I know," she said quickly. "You're the quiet girl, the one everyone says is too serious." I didn't know what to say. I just looked down, but she sat beside me anyway. "You know, Christy, you shouldn't always be alone," she said softly. "There's a small club in school, just a few of us girls. We call ourselves the Pink Stars. You should join us." "The Pink Stars?" I asked, curious. She nodded proudly. "We're like sisters. We share things, we help each other, and we make school fun. No one tells us what to do." Something in her voice sounded exciting, like freedom. No rules, no loneliness, no tears. That evening, she took me to a quiet corner behind the dining hall. 3 other girls were waiting. They all looked so fancy. Shiny shoes, sweet perfume, lip gloss. They giggled as I walked in. Gabriela said softly, "This is Christy. She's one of us now." The girls clapped lightly. One handed me a small pink bracelet and said, "Welcome to the family, girl." I smiled, though I didn't fully understand what being part of the Pink Stars meant. But for the first time in a long time, I felt like I belonged somewhere. Gabriela leaned close and whispered, "Stick with us, and you'll never feel lonely again." Her words stayed in my heart all night. I looked at the pink bracelet on my wrist and smiled. It glittered under the moonlight like a promise. But deep down, a small voice inside me whispered, "Christy, you need to be careful." I ignored it, because for once, I didn't want to be the lonely girl anymore.
Days turned into weeks, and slowly, I began to change. At first, the Pink Stars only met during break time. We would laugh, take pictures, and share snacks under the big almond tree. But soon, Gabriela started sneaking us out at night. She always knew how to make it sound harmless. "Just a little fun, Christy," she would say. "No one will even notice." The first night I followed them, my heart beat so fast I could hear it in my ears. We wore hoodies, tiptoed past the sleeping matron, and slipped through the small back gate. The night air was cool, and music echoed faintly from outside the fence. Gabriela's eyes sparkled with mischief. "See, I told you, life doesn't have to be boring." I smiled weakly, half scared, half excited. After that, sneaking out became easier. We would go to a small lounge near the town where older girls met us. They treated us like adults, offered us fancy drinks,
and told jokes that made us laugh until our stomachs hurt. The next morning, I slept through class. My teacher called my name, but I barely heard. My books were open, but my mind was still outside, thinking about the fun, the laughter, and Gabriella's proud smile when she said, "You are finally one of us." That evening, Mama called. It was the first time in 5 weeks. Her voice was bright and cheerful. "Christy baby, how are you? Studying well?" I froze. My heart thumped fast. "Yes, Mama," I lied softly. "I'm doing great. Just tired from reading." She laughed. "That's my girl. Keep making me proud." I smiled, even though my stomach felt tight. When the call ended, I stared at the pink bracelet on my wrist. I had just told my first lie to Mama. Meanwhile, somewhere far away, Mama was also laughing and dancing at a party. I could almost see her. Flashing lights, loud music, people cheering her name. What I didn't know then was that Mama had met someone new. His name was Kelvin, tall, rich, and smooth with words. He was the older brother of Gabriella. Yes, that's right. The same Gabriella who held my hands and introduced me to the pink stars. The same Gabriella who smiled at me every day as if she knew something I didn't. And maybe she really did.
It happened so slowly that I didn't even notice who I was becoming. Every morning when I looked in the mirror, a different girl stared back at me. One with shiny lip gloss, bracelets that jingled, and a phone full of secret pictures. I had become one of the pink stars. Gabby always said, a pink star must shine anywhere she goes. So I started walking like her, head high, voice calm, always smiling. Everyone in school noticed. Some girls whispered when I passed. Others looked at me with admiration. For the first time, I felt powerful. But the truth is, I was changing too fast. We stopped sitting in class. Instead, we hid behind the big storehouse near the back fence. That's where Gabby would bring her small MP3 speaker and fancy drinks. We'll dance and vibe to the music. She would often laugh and say, "Just one sip, Christy. It makes you forget your worries." At first, I refused. I told her I didn't like it. But when I was sad and missing Mama, Gabby would place her arm around me and say softly, "You are safe with me, girl. Have some drink, just one sip, and you'll be all right." I took a small sip. It bent a little. Gabby laughed, and soon I was laughing too. That night, I felt strange but free. I forgot about my empty dorm bed and my school books. For the first time, I didn't feel lonely. Days turned into nights, and nights into secrets. My grades began to fall. I stopped answering teachers in class. My handwriting became messy. One day, my math teacher called me aside and said, "Christy, what's happening to you? You used to be my brightest student." I looked down and said nothing. Behind her, I saw Gabriella waiting, with a small smile, tapping her pink nails on the window. That same week, Mama posted a picture of me online and captioned it, "Raising a queen alone. My pride, my Christy." I stared at the post for a long time. She had no idea who her queen was becoming. She didn't know her daughter now sneaked out through fences, laughed with strangers, and kept secrets darker than the night sky. Sometimes, when the school lights went off and everyone slept, I sat on my bed and whispered to myself,
If Mama really knew me now, would she still be proud of me? But before I could answer, Gabriella's voice would echo in my head. Stop thinking too much, Christy. Enjoy your life while you can. And so, I did.
It was a hot afternoon when everything almost fell apart. I was sitting with the pink stars behind the school hall, laughing, drinking, and sharing snacks, when I heard someone shout my name. "Christy, the principal wants to see you." My heart stopped. Gabby's eyes widened with fear. "Christy, did you do something?" I shook my head quickly, but deep down, I knew something was wrong. When I got to the office, I saw Mama sitting there, wearing her bright red dress and shiny heels. She looked beautiful, but her face was serious. "Baby, are you okay?" she asked softly. "Your school called. They said you've been skipping classes. What's going on?" My hands began to shake. I wanted to tell her everything. About the nights we sneaked out, about Gabriella, about how lonely I felt. But the words wouldn't come out. Before I could speak, Gabriella suddenly appeared at the door, smiling confidently. "Good afternoon, Ma," she said sweetly. "Christy has been so busy helping me with a school project. Maybe that's why she missed a few classes." Mama smiled a little, her face softening. "Oh, is that so?" Gabriella nodded quickly. "Yes, Ma. Christy is one of the best girls here. Everyone likes her." The principal looked confused, but said nothing. Mama sighed, looked at me and said, "You see why I told you not to listen to gossip? People always try to make me look bad through you." I forced a weak smile. Gabia winked at me behind her back. When Mama left, I followed her to the gate quietly. She hugged me and said, "I'm proud of you, Christy. Don't let anyone change you, okay?" I nodded, but my chest felt heavy.
The next evening, Gabby was laughing as we dressed for the club. "Tonight will be fun, Christy," she said, her eyes bright. I smiled shyly. "I just want to dance a little, then go back early." She laughed. "Don't worry, girl, I got you." What I didn't know was that Gabby had a secret. She worked for her brother, Kelvin, the same man my mother, Agatha, had just started talking to online. Kelvin looked gentle and kind, but deep inside, he was not what he seemed. He made money by tricking and taking young girls away, and Gabby helped him. Her job was simple: bring the girls close, make them trust her, and then call Kelvin. That night, I was the next one on the list. The rain started falling when we got to the club. The lights flashed, the music was loud, and people danced and shouted. Gabby made sure my cup was never empty. "Come on, Christy, drink up, be happy," she said, smiling. I laughed even though I was tired. When it was late, she held my hand and said, "Christy, let's go before the rain gets worse." We ran into her car, laughing under the heavy rain. But on the dark road, I began to feel dizzy. My head spun. The world looked blurry. "Gabby, please, I don't know what is happening to me," I said softly. "Don't worry, we're almost there," she whispered, pretending to care. A few minutes later, she slowed down the car. "Oh no, Christy, the car has stopped," she said, frowning. She came out and opened the bonnet. Then, everything went quiet. Only the sounds of rain and thunder. Suddenly, bright lights flashed behind us. A black van stopped near our car. 4 big men wearing masks stepped out. Before I could scream, one of them covered my mouth. My heart jumped. Everything went dark. Gabby stood still, pretending to cry. She took her phone, shaking her voice. "Hello? Hello, Mrs. Agatha. Can you hear me? Please come quick. Christy is gone. I can't find her." Mama froze.
"What do you mean missing?" she shouted. But the line went silent. Her phone fell. Her chest felt tight. She couldn't breathe. Her eyes turned watery as she whispered, "Blood of Jesus, Christy, my baby." Then she fainted and fell to the ground as rain began to fall. That night changed everything. The woman who once chased fun and forgot her daughter now had one wish: to find her child again.
If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe. Tell us in the comments where you're watching from, and would you like us to upload part 2?